In our previous episodes, we looked at what HIV stigma is. We also discussed what causes HIV stigma. In this episode, we'll be discussing the effect HIV stigma has on persons living with HIV and their families. Stay tuned.
One key factor which is contributing to the spread of virus is denial, and that is brought about especially in most situations as a result of stigma and discrimination meted out to people living with HIV in our country. That effort, that action or behavior towards persons living with HIV discourages them and denies them of the confidence and opportunity to access services. It also puts off the general population in their effort to be able to know their status so that they can be linked to services. So stigma and discrimination occurs in a subtle way at the workplace, in our homes, in the church, and in the health facilities, the hospital. It is in line with this that I speak to people who are in different healthcare settings. First of all, we talk about people, workers. HIV is created in the workplace and it must be dealt with in the workplace. The work environment must be enabling enough. It must be free of every form of restriction. It must be free of every form of suppression so that people will be free to express themselves and to contribute to the development of the country. We must eschew all forms of discrimination of people living with HIV in the workplace. It is against the law to deny anybody, first of all, employment because of the person's HIV positive status. Similarly, it's against the law to prevent people from achieving their conjugal expectations, sexual and reproductive rights of marriage, just because they are HIV. So I call on all employers, religious leaders, to rather support persons living with HIV and not to discriminate against them. The persons living with HIV have nowhere to go. Their primary source of support and treatment is the health sector. It's therefore important that the health sector is welcoming and provides a very warm reception to all persons living with HIV. I call on all service providers to be the important actors and people who provide a smile on the surface of persons living with HIV. They have to be the first people to encourage people to access service. They must provide all the needed service in a compassionate way, and they must minimize all health facility related barriers to HIV care for these persons living with HIV, irrespective of their background, race, and circumstance. And we must do everything possible to guard against this. I call on families and friends to support anybody who is living with HIV. The most practical way of supporting and showing that love as a family member is to be able to support such a person who is positive to be on treatment. It is very important that we demonstrate the fellow feeling in all aspects of our endeavors in our country, and within the context of health, we are asking that nobody should be left behind in all the things that we do, from healthcare delivery to any other service that is very relevant and needed. We must avoid any infractions on the rights of people. Everybody deserves good health care. Everybody deserves antiretroviral therapy. Everybody deserves HIV treatment services. Everybody deserves to know their status. And we must all contribute to ensuring that, so that country Ghana will be free of AIDS in the shortest possible time.
Welcome back. Discriminating against persons living with HIV can prevent them from accessing the needed healthcare services and medication. End HIV stigma and save a life today. See you same time next week.